Thank you so much for pressing play. You know, every time you press play, it gives me the inspiration to do another video. So, wanted to do this quick video. As you see, it's very sunny. I'm out here getting some of this vitamin D. It's a beautiful day outside today. But something's been on my heart, been on my mind. I wanted to get off my chest about this idea of now is the time of having a low information diet. And what I mean by that is with all this talk with the market going down, and we're in this bull market, and you're seeing layoffs, you're seeing Bitcoin going down, the dollar going down, cryptocurrency, other altcoins, and all these things happening. One of the things that you don't want to do is continue to feed yourself the doom and gloom of the state of the world. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I saying that this is not happening. It is happening. It's very real. We are in a recession based off of what some of the top analysts say. But that doesn't mean that you have to feed into it. And I'm going to be the first to admit, for a little bit, I went down that rabbit hole, and I was like, I had to get myself out of it, because no, that's not the best use of my time in order to navigate through this period of time. Because one of the things that I think about all the time is, rather than focusing in on like looking at the news or looking at these hot takes on Twitter, is I personally like to go back. I like to read things from 100 years ago, books that are 100 years old or more. I like to just read more long form content to begin to form a point of view as you're going through as we're going through this time period. And also, this is a good time to invest. You know, investing in yourself is critical right now. Investing in your skills, expanding your knowledge base, changing your circle, level up in the circle. The people that you are around is very critical during this time, and really finding the people that you need to be around to get to the other side of this. This type of shift and things happen every 100 years. It's on a cycle. But as you're going through it, as we're all going through it collectively, it can get very painful. It's easy to be pessimistic about the state of the world, but I'm imploring you not to do that. I know it's hard. I know it's very hard. I went down that rabbit hole. And I'm saying this because I don't want you to go down the same rabbit hole. Now's a good time to really dig in. This is where you're going to see what you're made of. I remember when we were going through the pandemic, I kept on telling myself, hey, I'm going to come out of this better than when I came in. And lo enough, I did. I 3 or 4x'd my income. Relationships got better and deeper. All around growth. So you have to set your mind on the fact that no matter what we're going through, I'm going to come out better on the other end of this. And that's what you have to keep on reminding yourself. And that's how I reminded myself when we were in the pandemic, and no one knew what was going on. But I told myself, no matter what no one knows, I told myself that I'm going to come out better because of this. And that's exactly what I did. And same thing I'm doing now. I'm telling myself I'm going to come out way better because of this. I leverage this. I lean into it rather than trying to fear and let it be fear-induced. Because at the end of the day, we've gone through this before. And there's 2 books that I would recommend. Well, I know 2 books that really helped me. I read these books anywhere between 5 to 10 years ago. So these books are like staples. I read them probably every 3 years. Every 4 years, I'll go back to them. Both books are by the same author, Alvin Toffler, who is a futurist. He actually passed away, but he was basically a futurist, and he would do a lot of research and a lot of studies on past events and kind of summarize those things of what we can expect. And he was writing things in the 50s, 60s, 70s that are actually happening right now. Things like working remotely. That's one of the reasons why I knew I've been working remotely for 10 or 15 years, but I knew this because I've already read the book, this one specific person's book, talking about it. So there's 2 books that he wrote that I would recommend to help you digest what's going on in the world. There might be 3 books, but 2 books off the top of my head. Both written by Alvin Toffler. The first one is called The Third Wave. I'll probably put these in my, in the description. And then the second one is Future Shock. So it's Future Shock and The Third Wave. And this futurist breaking down some of the things. He was probably right on about 75% of the things that he wrote, and probably off on the other 25%. But these are things that helped me get a foresight. The other one, the last book I would recommend is the Bible, and not even for religious reasons, more for, and it doesn't even have to be the Bible, but any of your ancient spiritual books. For me, my main point of reference in terms of religion and spirituality is the Bible. So that's why I'm recommending that first. But if you have a holy book that you refer to, go to that. But there's something about reading these ancient holy books that gives you a heightened sense of reality on what's going on, and actually puts things in perspective. On, like, again, these cycles that as humans and civilizations that we go through. This all comes down to our ability to process this, because if we don't understand or have the tools to process all this information that's coming into us, it's going to drive us crazy. I'm telling you, it's going to drive us crazy. So you need to have some tools to help you digest and then navigate, holding firm with everything you got. Also, this is my last thing. This video is probably a little bit longer than what I normally do, but it's very important. Ooh, my computer's getting hot. So last thing, there's 2 questions that I also ask myself is this going to matter 100 years from now? Is what we're going through right now going to matter 100 years from now? I'm not going to answer that right now, but maybe. There's a possibility that 100 years from now, what we're experiencing now, it's going to matter. So you have to ask yourself, reverse engineer that. So what does that mean for me right now? Like, how do I position myself? So that's another question. Then I add a bonus question of, will this matter 1,000 years from now? Will this, what we're going through, matter 1,000 years from now? And then it starts to get more perspective. You're like, you know what? No, it's probably not going to matter 1,000 years from now. But maybe 100 years from now, it will matter. The whatever we're going through, the shift that we're going through, the cycles that we're going through right now. So those are the 2 questions. So there's 3 books that I recommended and 2 questions that I asked myself to help me navigate and keep me sane. The 3 books are The Third Wave, Future Shock by Alvin Toffler. And then the third one is whatever holy book that you reference. I specifically look at the Bible. You can choose the Quran or whatever that you do. And then the 2 questions I ask myself when I feel overwhelmed is will this matter 100 years from now? And then the bonus question is, will this matter 1,000 years from now? And you'll be surprised on how easier it is to digest and to process, and for you to make the next best decision for you and your family. Because that's what it really comes down to, a series of good decisions, especially in these times. These are the times when most wealth is created in like these troubling times. When everybody's panicked, I don't know the exact Warren Buffett thing, but when everybody's panicked, I'm always that person that's like, okay, you guys can panic over there, but I'm always that person that has my head down and I'm just focused. But if everybody's not panicking, then you have to like, wait, what's going on? So that's how I'm personally processing it. I thought I would share. It's been on my mind heavy over the last week or so, and I thought I would share. I'll be hanging out in the comics for a little bit. I'm really interested to hear your point of view, your perspective, because it all matters. It all matters. It's a beautiful day out today. Have a good one. Peace.